Today I want to talk to you about some more circles and some things about circles. And welcome to Friday. I hope you guys had a good week and I hope you have a great weekend. All right, this is math. And what I'm going to do right now is we're going to do some calculations, and you don't have to do them. But what I'm going to do is show you something. This is a pencil, obviously. And the diameter of this pencil is about a quarter of an inch in width. It's just right at a quarter of an inch. So what we're gonna label this. The diameter here is 0.25. All right, now because we know that the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter, we can figure out how big around this pencil is, and it's not much, but we can figure it out because we're mathematicians, and we most of the time have access to some technology. All right, so here, to find out how round this pencil is, circumference is equal to pi times diameter, which is 0.25. 1/4 of an inch. And if we do the calculations on that, we put it in the calculator, we find that the circumference, the distance around the pencil, is going to be 0.785 or 785 thousandths of an inch. That's about a little more than 3/4 of an inch in diameter. It's roughly 3 times that. A little more because it's 3.14. Now, if we added a foot to each side of this, in other words, increase the size of this circle by 1 foot in diameter, then we're going to have a bigger circle, and this is not drawn to scale. So this is 12 inches. And over here we got another 12 inches. So now we redo our calculations, and the circumference is now pi times, this is 12 inches plus 12 inches plus 0.25 inch. So that's going to be 24.25 inches. And when we put that in the calculator, we're going to find that now the distance around our circle is 76.184 inches. All right, so we've got, and so how many feet is that? Well, to find that out, we just divide by 12. And what we come up with is 6 feet, 0.349. In other words, we're adding a little more than 6 feet. And to find out exactly how much, what we would do is we would change this back into feet and that's going to be real small. And I'm not going to do that, but basically you got an inch here, or it's 3/4 of an inch, and you're adding a little more than 6 feet, about 6 feet 4 inches. So we got a net increase of 6 feet, and that's an estimate. Okay, now the diameter of the moon, when I did a quick Google search of that, the diameter of the moon is 2,158.8 miles. That's huge. Well, if we added a foot, and let's go ahead and draw that circle. So we've got here's our moon. And I'll put some craters on it. All right, the moon has a diameter of 2,158.8 miles. Okay. All right, so, but if we added a foot, just 1 foot, which is 12 inches, it's not going to get that much bigger. It's going to be real short. I mean, just think about adding the distance between your foot and and your kneecap. A little more than a foot, but if you added that, how much are we going to increase the diameter here? How many feet or miles it might be? You got a guess? Okay. Because I think what I'm going to show you is going to surprise you. All right, the diameter of the moon is 2,158.8, and here we're dealing in feet on our first problem, so we need to change this to feet. So to do that, this is miles, we have to multiply by a fraction, which is going to have miles on the bottom and feet on the top. And for every mile, there is 5,280 feet. All right, we can cancel the miles out, and so when we multiply this out, that's how many feet in diameter that the moon is. Well, it turns out that's going to be 11,398,464 feet. That's a big number. That's usually why we don't use feet when we're using great distances. All right, now, if we, the circumference of the moon is going to be equal to 11, or pi, times 11,398,464 feet. Which is going to come out to equal, so the distance around the moon is 35 million, roughly 3 times that, a little more than 3 times, 809,330.76 feet. All right, that's the circumference. Now we're going to add, just like we did up here, we're going to add move my stand. We're going to add a foot to each side of this of the moon, or we're going to raise the diameter a foot off the surface of the moon. So there's where we're starting for. Now our new circumference is going to be pi times 11,398,466. Instead of 464, we're adding 2 feet, so 466 feet. And that equals 35,809,337 feet, 0.05 feet. All right. Now, we subtract this number, which is a smaller number, from the larger number. And when we do that, our difference now, we've got an increase of 6.288 feet. Approximately 6 feet. If we're going to, just be rounding. And for the purpose of this, that's what we're going to do. All right, so it increased a little more than 6 feet. Well, when we look back up here, we've got a little more than 6 feet. It only increased 6 feet, just like this one did, even though we were using a 1/4-inch circle, and now we're using a more than 2,000 mile circle. But when we add a foot to the distance of to the diameter, 2 feet to the diameter, it doesn't matter how big your circle is, it's only going to get about 6 feet larger. And that's an odd thing. You'd think it'd be a lot more. But anyway, y'all have a good weekend, and I will see you Monday.